This is the one that I really like to make here. This just says one messed up road looking at it. So what I'm going to do is pull in the original texture that I made. I'm going to bring in this image also. So I'm going to go to my where I got my game installed and bring in that texture map. Yeah, I know Ukraine is spelled wrong. Cracked road, I think. Which I made this one for a speed bump. Crack speed bump. That's a texture I made. Painted those lines. Painted the lines by selecting with the magic wand all the cracks and then erasing the cracks out of the layer with the yellow stripes to give it that look, which I like the way that turned out actually. I may use just 2 in it. Here it is, cracked road. See, what I'm looking at is like my ground texture. I don't like that. Looks like crap. It doesn't look real. When you're looking at the model that I just made for the last video, it just don't. It looks like crap. I'm not happy with it. And I made so many textures trying to make. Yeah, see, this was I think that's the original image, or it may not have been. I don't know. This might be the original one. I don't remember. I think the yellow ones were the one. I know the yellow ones were the ones I added. But so anyway, I want to pull this. I'm gonna use this one though, because that's got the yellow in it. Oh, look, I'm trying to do. Damn, I got the wrong thing. I'm trying to do. I put that in there. Load the original image. Alright, see, that's the texture that I used on the 3D model, which I have the top of it using the top part of the image and the bottom using this. So I can take more images and stick them in there and use whatever part that I want, because I only really need just one white line. I only really need about that much of the top to do the model, and the rest can be texture for the bottom. And looking at the picture that I like, well, I don't have it up now, but I thought I had a ground texture in here also that I'd spent quite a while on. But what I will try to do, I'd rather try to use a real photograph of the ground. I know I got in my decals folder, I got some different textures that I tried to do, like some decals for like the side of the embankments and stuff, but I honestly didn't like any of them, how they turned out. I made a lot of damn different ones. This one by far was my favorite though. That's for just laying on the ground. Oh well, let's just use the real photo. So in this folder, There's an earthquake. I'll go back to the one that I know worked. This one worked pretty well. So actually this one might work now that I know how to do it better. I know how to do it a little easier than I did the first time. I could just make the texture larger, that's simple as that, so I can get more of these in here. So I'll just make the texture 8K by 8K. Wrong program. Image scale, image canvas size. I'll say be 8192 by 8192. I did try 16K texture, and I can tell you now that that made the game take a performance hit. I ain't kidding. That thing ran like crap. I was getting 20 something frames a second with that 16K texture instead of this 8K. I don't know if it was just a fluke or if that is just always the case, but it ran terrible. Now I did 16K textures before on on the terrain when I was making a model for that Ukraine track, and it didn't do that, so I don't know. No idea. I'm gonna just select inverse and delete. Now I gotta give it an alpha channel and delete that, so I don't need all that image. I'll just move this over here. Actually, I hate to rotate it. I know what I'll do. I'll move this one. Put that one. And one more. Alright, now I will merge visible layers. And see that yellow line there? That tells you that the image has got more over here. That means it's not going to be that correct resolution. I found that out. The way I fix it, I add new layer, transparency, merge visible layers, and that will make it. Alright, so now it'll be correct. Now when I export it as a DDS, I'm just going to overwrite the other file. Well, maybe I make another one. Crack Road. This will be Crack Road number 14. It's going to have transparency, so it's BC3, and it generates bitmaps. That's probably about an 80 meg texture if I had to guess. Alright, so we go into Blender. I'm just going to see if I got the other block of ground in here. That's just got one crack in it. Yeah, that's just got one crack. Alright, so let's go to look at him. Let's do this. This is gonna get retextured, so let's just make I want this in here because I know this is the right size for the one that I already put in the game. So I'm just adding a new mesh cube. I'm gonna move it, scale it. I'll make this one longer than the one that's already in the game. That other one that I didn't feel like I had much room to do anything. I'm gonna scale it as thin as like the piece of road is. Alright, so I'm gonna be breaking just the top piece for now. I'm gonna put the texture of the road on it, and this we'll call this. I want to call it the same one that I already got in the game, so I don't have to make another one. But I guess I'd have probably, maybe I'll just make another one. Crack Road 12. And now I can get rid of this underneath. And I'll go hunting for that image, which I think I just put it in the game directory for my level. There it is. Yeah, you know this is gonna look all messed up. Alright, so first thing first, we'll put the road texture on the top, edit menu, pick that top, go to you with the, I'm probably talking too fast. Pick the object that you just made. Let's go ahead and name it top road. We know it's the top road. Parts you drive on. Pick it, edit menu. Make sure you got this X-ray here toggled off. That way it's easier to select the top face. So when you got face selected, you can get this top face. Then you go to UV editing, and you likely will have to tab this viewport shading. You'll probably see this when you get in it. You just change it over so you can see the rendered. Alright, move this over a little. So there's our box there. I'm just going to say unwrap. That unwraps it. Probably wasn't necessary for this, but I just got in a habit of doing that, because you especially have to do that when you explode something, which is what we're going to do with this. So now I just want this to extend to the edge of the texture. Now when you're you can use scale, and you can use move and rotate, or you can use the hotkeys, which most of the time I'll just try to use the hotkeys to move stuff. So if you see stuff moving, or it's not going to necessarily show you that I picked the move thing up there, but that's all I'm doing. And once you start moving it, you can hold down shift and it'll move it a lot slower, give you a little more precision. Same thing with scaling and rotating. You can get more precision by just holding down the shift key once it starts to move. If you hit it before, it's not going to do it. You have to, now I gotta rotate it. When you rotate, you can just select all these 4 vertices, make this corner, hit R, and if you hit Control while you're doing it, it'll lock it at 5 degrees each time. It makes it a lot easier than trying to eyeball it. Alright, so that's that. Now the sides, which I'll use my old texture for that. Which what I'll probably have to do I'm gonna need to probably put a couple cuts with a knife just so that I don't have to make that texture. So hit enter once you do a slice with a knife. You just simply click and then click and hit enter. Click, click, enter. But I didn't want to do it 4 times. I was just going to do it. Well, the more I look at it, I probably should. I probably will need all those squares. And that's got to be rotated, and I can see how it's stretched. Nope. Make sure your mouse is in the right side when you go to rotate, or you'll rotate the actual object upside down. Yeah, see, if I try to take that whole piece like this and make it span that vast distance, that short distance rather, it was probably not look. We'll just look and see. Hey, it don't look that bad, does it? Actually looks better than that. I'm just gonna re-unwrap the whole thing. Actually, I'm gonna just backspace and undo everything I just did before I cut those. There. It didn't look as bad as I thought. I thought it was gonna look really pixelated. Now I know this is flat. This isn't like got a bevel on it or anything, but we could add a bevel, I guess, to give it more of a rounded look. Just add a bevel. Then maybe select the faces from the bevel. You're just giving yourself more work to do though when you do this. Let's say smooth. I don't want to do that. That's going to make the whole that's going to screw up the lighting on this texture. You got to understand, this thing, if it's not perfectly flat on the top, it will not match at all that it's not going to match at all that decal that's in the game. That was a lot of my frustration with making the video that I never posted, was it did not match at all. It looked like crap. It had to do with the way that the light was hitting the model. I never did really figure out what made it do what it did. But as you can see what here, I'm just taking and just trying to Alright, that's all I wanted to do, was just make something basic like that. Thank you for watching. No, just kidding. I'm not done. Let's see. That'd be alright. Alright, so the next thing, get out of this mode and go back into layout and object mode here. I'm gonna save this real quick. Alright. Now, I guess I can do the ground last under it. But let's do this. Go to object, quick effects, cell fracture. Now I played with some of these things already in here, and like I believe I got a decent enough result from it. What I did is I added noise, a little noise. I told it to the shatter recursive, whatever that's how you say that. And I messed with some of these numbers. And hit OK. That's made damn shattered the crap out of this thing. Yeah, I usually wait that long. Yeah. Recursive, I told it to shatter point to originate from the cursor, which that's your 3D cursor. Now you can move your 3D cursor by picking this, right? Let's undo this. Let's undo it. Let's pick 3D cursor and let's put that sucker right there. Alright, watch this now. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to object, quick effects, cell fracture. Alright, now let me change this recursion thing. I don't think I want that many. I'm not sure which one does which exactly, but see, it's cursor close, so that means it'll start fracturing, I guess, mostly from that point. That's where it'll like be the origin of the damage, the big chunk of it anyway. If you did it in the opposite manner, all the tiniest fractures, I guess the recursive ones, I guess that means it just repeats and repeats and repeats how many times it repeats the fracture over the same spot. Like this isn't recursed one, this may be recursed just not at all, just one fracture. This may be a recursion of two fractures, like this piece and then it's fractured one time. And maybe this is where it's fractured, 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 and fractured. Or that may be three. You know what I'm getting at. It just does it less as it gets out and more towards where we move that 3D cursor to, which I've put the cursor over there. Maybe I'm thinking oppositely. Let me see. Maybe it's I've got it backwards, how it's supposed to be. I think it's the other way. Object, quick effects, cell fracture, cursor far. Wait a second now. This ain't none of it making sense. Where's the cursor? I thought that was the cursor. It may be that I don't have the object's origin and stuff set. Maybe that's the fact there. Object, set origin. Origin to 3D cursor. Object, set origin, geometry to origin. Now move the object where I think the cursor is now. Object, apply all transforms. Now object, quick effects, cell fracture, cursor close, and go. Yeah, I just didn't have the damn origin set. That's why I always say set your origin to 3D cursor and then origin to geometry. And then once you're done fiddling around, moving it around, then you just apply all transforms. See, now it did it correctly. It just was looking at it. And see, that really matters when you're making mods, because your J-beams won't be where they're supposed to be. The models won't be inside the little frame of them. They'll be like outside of it, and that matters. So the way this picture looks, looking at it here, get a little closer. It's like the edge is kind of broken in half. It's like one big break in half, where one piece is higher than the other, and then you got it kind of cracked like that. So to achieve that, what I thought we would do is take the part that where all the little pieces are going to be, these will be the little pieces. This will be the part that's like elevated off the ground. So we'll pick these objects here. For this, we'll turn X-ray mode on. That ensures we get anything that's under it also. Oh yeah, you got to enable the top road, or whatever you named yours. The very top one is the original model before it's fractured. Once you fracture it, it makes all these cells. You just need to undo it so you can see. And you can also easily go into, this is one place where viewport shading works better, because you can see all the cracks easier. So we'll pick this, we'll raise it up, we'll rotate it on the, third time's a charm, the y-axis. And that starts to give us this look. Now what we'll do is, it's not going to look exactly like that. So the next thing we'll do, we'll take, we'll somewhat split this. We'll pick these, rotate them this way, and move them like this, maybe. Maybe like that. To kind of get this, like this here. So I don't know what the rest of it looks like. I could just assume it's probably not going straight anymore. So it's probably maybe something. Maybe I got it just a little too much. This is just more or less a crack, right? It's not necessarily a... So like that. Then we'll get these hunks here, hunks of slab. We'll just have to, what I'll probably do is just take, probably take a couple of these, holding shift down to pick a few of them, or maybe just a couple like that. Hit shift D to make a copy. Hit move them. I want to look at the texture version for this. Remember, there'll be like some ground under here that this will kind of be propped up against. So we'll just stick that there like that. Which actually, this would be a little farther back. This needs to be back more. I guess I need to put some kind of something in there just for now. just so I have something that can just, well, I'll do it last. Alright, then we got some other fragments. So we'll go back, take some more fragments. And these will just move them away. Move them kind of over here. Lift them up a little. Maybe rotate them just a bit. So we kind of get this. Maybe pull this one away a little. Alright, now once I texture one of these, what I'll do is I'll... hold on 1 second. 1 second. Be right back. Alright. Once I get the size and texture of one of these pieces, I'll duplicate it several times so that it I can make several copies and scale them to be like smaller pieces. So I'll just temporarily move this one up. Now this is the way I figured out how to do this. Pick the object, go to edit mode, turn off the X-ray, and this saved me a lot of time because this thing's got a lot of faces. As little pieces this is, actually it'd be easier to just pick them all like that. We don't want the top or the bottom, we just want this. Now what I'll do is kind of get the most of both of them. I'll go to UV and say projection from view. Now I can go into the UV editor, and this is what this is. So this will make it a little easier to kind of get that texture there on the side if we want to use that piece for the texture, which I don't think that's going to work great on that. There's not enough. I'll have to try this one instead. Yeah, that looks alright there. It doesn't have as much, it doesn't really have much of the cement from the road though. Really any. Wrong thing. Damn it, hit the wrong thing again. There, that'll be fine. Now it's got a little bit of the asphalt. I'll do these. Project from view. And then these. Holding shift down will allow you to pick multiple ones. Now when it's saying project from view, it's basically saying from the direction you're looking at this object is the direction it's going to do the UV coordinates for the texture map. Yeah, that worked nicely. You just can tweak them a little. Just take one, select it, and just kind of move it. Which I don't want any damn grass in there. Close enough. Alright, now I'll just stick dirt on the bottom. Just some good dirt. Maybe some vines and stuff. Not that we're going to see the bottom of it, but you never know. Nah, I don't like that. Just stick to the dirt. That'll work. That'll work. Alright, so now we got this thing. The only thing, that's what I didn't like about this texture is it's got that white look to it where it doesn't really blend into my road. It looks funny, like it's an Oreo cookie and that's the icing. I remembered that's why I didn't use this one. You see what I mean? And that white will look even whiter in the game. The only thing about the damn game's lights, it makes whites look blown out. So that's why I didn't use this. It's clear to me now. I just have to move them down so that it doesn't get any of that top piece. That's all. We'll still use it. I'll just make sure it doesn't get the top. Because that does not blend. That's why I did this like I did, so the sides would blend. I just didn't like my dirt. Now you can pick 2 of these at one time. I'll show you what I'm about to do to make sure that they somewhat halfway are in the same ballpark as far as the texture sharing, like where it somewhat goes to the other. So I think that's the wrong. I don't know, folks, if that's that or not. If that's that pieces or not. But I do see something here that's definitely going to look like, not look right. Let me just do this. Just make sure it's all damn right. Just projection map it. Be the easiest thing to do. You really need like a decent resolution image, at least 1500 by something. If you try to do this with a image from like off the Bing search, which I use Bing, but what I'm about to say is Bing, there's some really crappy low resolution ones too that you'll come across. You definitely don't want to use them. I filter. I just do a filter and I tell it the minimum I would accept. I usually tell it 2000 by 1000. I just get tempted because I see the ones on the right side, which are basically where the algorithm says, oh, you like this, well then you'll probably like these. Except those don't use the filter. Those like don't use um, the filter you put in. They can be any different kinds of sizes and stuff, and that's just gonna have to be. Damn. Let's just get these down close together. You're not gonna be able to get both sides. I mean, because if you do a projection view, you're gonna have to go around it, and you're not gonna get the ones. They're not gonna. You can't do projection view around the whole thing. Well, you can, but the sides are gonna be stretched, looking funny. I was trying to figure out why they don't look right. That's just gonna have to do. I am not damn spending no more time on that. So back to object mode. We got one piece that's decent. I wanted to get this one close to as right as I could because this is the one I'm going to make several copies of and rotate, scale, and whatnot, and have these like little different fragments. But you know, it's gonna make the it may not look that good. I don't know yet. But what I was going to say is it's going to make the textures look really super high resolution if you were to get up close to them, but I don't think anybody's going to be wanting to do that. Yeah, maybe these pieces are upside down. Because, you know, you're going to have some little pieces, some big pieces, and, you know, what you'll have to do is just kind of move your ground terrain to kind of look like, you know, bring it up to the bottoms of them, or, you know, somewhat into them, so it looks like they're somewhat not floating. And maybe put this on the other side of this. You know, maybe these pieces are like this upside down. So you see these. And I can always rotate them more when the ground's in. I haven't really, you know, so we got some just different fragments. So now we're getting closer to this. We're getting there. This is starting to look like a one messed up road. Alright, so while we're here, let's take these pieces here. Let's go into edit mode. We select them both. We go to edit mode and we pick the faces for the fronts of these. From the view that we're looking at it, UV projection from view. Why isn't it picking that piece? Oh, because I didn't select it. That's why it's good to just turn on X-ray, then you know you're getting everything. And just do it this way. Turn off X-ray. I don't want to mess up. Well, yeah, I don't want to mess up the back. Because I think I done did the sides, didn't I? Yeah, I don't want to mess them up. As you turn on X-ray, you'll be picking the ones in the rear too. UV project from view. Now we go back to our UV editor and find us a nice spot to put that. Let me see, I wonder. Nah. I'll just keep it consistent with the sides already look like. See, I got the sides already looking the same, so I might as well just keep that like that. That'd be the best thing to do. Now, luckily, there's not many pieces on this. I mean, there's a lot of pieces, don't get me wrong, but there's not that many. And it's certainly a lot easier doing that projection mapping than trying to do every one at a time. Damn it, I missed a piece. There. Now you see why I wanted to do one piece first and then make many copies of it. Yeah, you could be here a while. You did them all one at a time. But I wanted a few unique ones, so I gotta do these. I want to look like a bunch of copies of the same thing. I'll just unwrap that one. You can unwrap them and do them one at a time if you want to. I mean, you got that option. But if I can select, if I got several of them to do, I'm just gonna do it like this. That way I can do them together. You can always hide some of these if they get in your way. I just got a sense of direction, like I know about where I'm at in here. When I get behind something, I know which way I'm kind of looking anyway, so I don't really need to do that. Oh, damn it, hit the wrong damn thing. But yeah, you can make you a collage of different pictures and have several different things to pick from when you're doing your UV mapping. I think that's it, ain't it? I just got the big bit. Well, now I got this piece. Alright. Oh, turn on the X-ray to make sure I get all the little pieces. I'm sure there's probably a lot in there. Or a few. Oh yeah, turn that back off once you select them. Maybe for this I'll use the my actual texture. You do a few of these, you likely won't like to hear the sound of the word cell. When you think of that cell fracture, you think of all that work it made you do. I don't know, maybe some folks like doing UV map work. Oh, I said I was going to use this, that's right. Some people like UV editing. I'm sure they got guys at Bethesda and ID Soft and other places that make games. They probably got departments of people. It's all they do all day. Making all the UV maps for all the stuff in them big open world games like Skyrim, and probably non-stop 12 hours a day when they're crunching, or if not more, just doing this UV mapping things. Which you're your own boss here, but you know, there you probably got folks. No, Bernie, I don't like the way you got that there. You gotta redo that all that. That doesn't match your vision. I don't know, them guys may have fun doing that work. Who knows? I don't think I would like being a UV artist. It's not that entertaining to me. Now this has got a ton of damn pieces, which this is the only area I'm concerned with. But you can select everything. You know, you just have to make sure that when you're picking what you want to projection map, that you turn X-ray back off and only pick those faces that you want to UV project onto, or it'll mess up the others that you've already done. That's probably about right. Do you know how I did this, the first one I made? I did every single piece one at a time. One at a time. Each single one. Everyone, because everyone's in a different place. You couldn't just grab them all and go. I didn't even think about the UV projection. I just was unwrapping them all one at a time. like I would take one, I'd unwrap, then take that one, unwrap, and each one have to do each one. At least this way you can select multiples. I don't care if that can be stay black. I'm not messing with it. I can't pick it. Oh well. I don't know why it won't let me pick it. It's not going to make or break anything. Oh, I probably didn't have it selected. That's what I was saying. You just turn that X-ray on. Just, there's a bunch of pieces. Just pick them all. Just be sure that when you go to pick them, turn X-ray back off. Pick your faces that you want to do. See, now it'll let me pick it. But that's just going to be a little clump of dirt. I ain't worrying about it. Actually, I think I'm going to do this a little different in here, in this inside part. Because I really don't like my texture. I'm going to do it like that. Good God, what the hell? That's one crazy. Oh, I see. I see what I did. I picked this top piece too. I'm about to say, golly, where's that piece going? Oh man, I was like, well, uh, that was kind of weird. Like, damn, where'd that piece going off into infinity? It didn't look like it was that big of a piece. Ah, see what we did. What I did. I done messed one up there. Yeah. Yeah. I just unwrapped that one. And was that where one of the white lines? No, that's just regular. Just regular road. Regular road. And I see my texture stretched looking too. See my little rocks? They look stretched. Now there is a solution, but I don't want to do the texture. I am not redoing all them textures on the top. So what I'll do, I'll turn on my X-ray. I'll pick every damn thing. Now I gotta go object mode for look at object mode. Pick everything with X-ray, and I'll scale the entire thing like that. That will fix that, or it'll get it better anyway than what it was. There, that's much better. So now we got our, oh, save this damn thing so I don't want to start over. I won't start over. This will be it. If this don't turn out, this is it. And I am sorry I suggested making a video on this topic. But you know what? I got an idea. We could make a model of the ground, or we could just use the damn terrain in the game. We could try that, right? Let's do that. Instead of trying to make like a block of dirt and putting an ugly texture like that all the way around it, just use the damn terrain paint in the terrain. Let's see how that does. That'd also be quicker. So now what we get to do, we get to combine all this into one piece. See, this was our original slab of road here. We get to combine all these into one object now. Object, join. And this is where I've seen it crash many. I forgot that piece there. So I can fix it. There. I'll always miss one or two. I'll miss that one too. And what other one did I miss? Or I just messed it up when I didn't turn the X-ray off. Which I know that cracks in between, but I will see that right there. I will see it and I will know it's there. How do I keep getting up? How did I miss all that? Night, no one should be looking at the bottom of it anyway. Alright. Let's get this thing, get our files set up. Cracked road 15. Let's delete that. Let's give it a texture. It's already got the texture. It's cracked road 12. Let me go ahead and change it to 15. Let's make a new texture. It's cracked road 14.dds. Cracked road 15 is the name of the file, and we just have to add two empties, two plain axis empties. Call one base 0, 0, and the other one start 0, 1. Hold shift, left click, drag, drop start 0, 1 and the base 0, 0. Then do the same thing with the crack road. Select it, hold shift, left click, drag, drop. Now duplicate this object here. Rename the duplicate COL-MESH-1. Alright, export Collider and this is going in my levels Ukraine art shapes miscellaneous crack road number 15. 15 is a charm. Export. Oh, this is like this. I ain't mess with any of that. Just, there it goes. Now we can pull up and close that and pull up the game. If you had the game running, you'd have to close it, pull it up anyway. It don't seem to dynamically import the it doesn't seem to update the library like it used to, where you would export from Blender and it'd pop right up in the game. I mean, what I mean is it would be available to pick in the when you go to pick it in the folders. But I don't know how it used to do it, but it did it. Which maybe that was part of being optimized a little more. Maybe that was causing some performance problems, having it where it would let it do that. I don't know. It's just a guess. I'd probably say it might be 5% accurate. Yeah, so this is the one that from the last video that I was like, yeah, I don't like that damn crap. Don't like that a bit. It just looks like crud. Alright, so what I say that texture, crack road 14, right? No, crack road 15. So let's create that. Pull up our material editor. Crack road 15. Create. Let's find that color map, which was actually crack road 14. You should start typing it down here. It should. There it is. Alright, now since this is a new one, receive shadows. Yeah, this isn't even, we're not even touching on any advanced textures. This is just the basic color map. This is just to get us going. Just the bare minimum. Now we can go, after we made our texture, we can go to get all models up here at the top. You can start cracking it. You can start typing it. Maybe it's lowercase, what I call it, crack road 15. I don't see it. Something's wrong. I see it in the shape editor. See, when you go in here and it says size -1, see, this happened to me before. And I don't know why it does that. I couldn't tell you. But you drag it into your level and you don't see it. And I had to have done something wrong in there. something's wrong. Let me just do this. Let me get rid of this collision mesh. Did I apply all transforms? No, that probably was it. Let's make another duplicate. No. I guess if it don't know where I guess if you set in the origin and you never apply it, and I guess it just doesn't have a number for it to where to put it in the world. That's the only thing I can think. No. Still don't see it. Maybe this is one of them ones I gotta reload it. I don't understand that, man. That crap's happened to me before, making other stuff, and I don't know why. What's different that is any different than any other mesh I ever make? Oh, I'm not. I don't know. This ain't the first time this has happened. I can tell you that. Maybe the damn thing can't have spaces in between it. I don't think that's it. I think 'cause I spent all this time making the damn thing, it's not gonna work. For whatever reason. I mean, it looks fine in the material, but it got me so irritated I can't even think straight. Um, Nothing. No mesh. Shape with invalid detail levels. That don't tell me shit, man. That don't tell me what's going on. Don't tell me anything. Not unless it's that damn texture. Is not. I don't know.